Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to my Money in the Bank 2024 predictions. And honestly, let's just get right into it. Okay, so I didn't really know what type of order to do this in. I wanted to save the two Money in the Bank matches for last. So I think I'm going to go with a match that I feel like is more predictable than unpredictable. And that would be Damian Priest versus Seth freaking Rollins for the World Heavyweight title. And the stipulation here is that if Priest wins, Rollins can no longer challenge for that championship as long as Priest holds the title. And if Rollins wins, Priest leaves Judgment Day. And I think, honestly, adding that made this very interesting because it kind of, heightens the drama within Judgment Day, although I don't think it'll matter because I think Damian Priest wins here. I think that's really the only option. It would make so much more sense for Damian to win. It's too soon to give Seth back the title, especially because he just returned. Damian Priest even said that. Or no, McIntyre even said that. Like, it only makes sense for Priest to win. There's so much more you can do with him retaining this title. There's so much more you can do with him retaining and then feuding within Judgment Day. There's a lot of little bits and pieces there. Plus, I don't really know why you would give Seth back the title this early. And again, this just continues to build up Priest as a bigger star. It's more of a question of what happens for both of these stars next. I said with Priest, it's probably going to be more feuding within Judgment Day. But really what happens with Seth Rollins is the big thing. I've seen people say that this doesn't even matter and that McIntyre will cash in on this match. I don't think that's happening. That's a spoiler. No. We're not saying that yet, but that's a spoiler for later. But I said, I just don't know what you do with Seth now, though, is the question. Let's say, well, I can't say he wins this because I think he's going to lose. But, what's next, He just came back one random week, wasn't advertised, and then they immediately did this, promo battle, and they just determined, let's get Damian versus Seth at Money in the Bank. This match really was just made to increase Damian's credibility, and I think that's what it will do. I think it'll be a great match. I think Seth will put Damian over, and I think this will easily increase Damian's credibility. I think it'll make him be seen as a much bigger star. Even if he does lose it at SummerSlam, which I think he will, he's still going to become a bigger star out of this whole feud in total. And honestly, without this Damian-Seth Rollins match, he might not even get seen that way. So I think this was a perfect match to add, and I think Damian wins. Next up, let's talk about Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental title. I will say, I really liked the build for this. You had, you kind of intertwined it a little bit. You had Sheamus versus Braun Breaker. I'm like, that doesn't matter because Ludwig Kaiser gets involved. And then you had Braun versus Ludwig, and then Sheamus got involved. So really, this Sheamus versus Ludwig feud kind of overlapped it. But at the same time, it made this Sheamus Ludwig feud, get seen in a spotlight. And it also made Braun Breaker feel much more important because Braun Breaker came out looking dominant in all of those moments. And then that's why he challenged Sami Zayn. He was going to anyway. But that made this Braun Breaker moment seem even more, more impactful. I don't know the right word. But I think Braun Breaker wins the Intercontinental title. But at the same time, I am kind of hesitant because do you really have Braun win it in his first go? And do you really have Sami lose it this early? That's the only thing. Sami won at WrestleMania, right? And, maybe that wasn't that long ago. Maybe it's okay. I don't know. Just on one hand, it does kind of seem like Sami's run is kind of short. And it feels like the build to this hasn't been spectacular. I know I just said it was good, but it doesn't feel like a title change type of feud. But I just can't see Braun Breaker losing. That's the only thing. So, would I be surprised if Sami Zayn won? No. But my prediction is that Braun Breaker does win. Because as I said, I just don't see how you can have Braun Breaker lose this early on. But again, I'll completely understand if he does because I just don't see a title. This hasn't felt like a title change moment. But yeah, I'm going Braun Breaker still. Next up, we have Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens versus any of the three Bloodline members. And I'm recording this before SmackDown, so I don't know what's happened on SmackDown yet. Would that impact my decision? I'm not sure. But I honestly don't know where to go here. My thought process is that it's Cody, Randy Orton, and Kevin, right? It's hard for three WWE All-Stars to lose, But at the same time, it's the Bloodline, and they've been trying to look more dominant every single week. So it only makes sense if the Bloodline win here because they haven't really had many six-man tags with this new group. So this would be a perfect time to give them the victory. They've beaten who? The the Profits and Kevin Owens once. That's about it for 6-man, I think. So it would only make sense if they did win here to further, push the bloodline. I think that's the way to go. So I'm going to go with the bloodline. I don't know who would represent them in this match. I keep seeing rumors about, like, Jacob Fatu has a prison arrest history, so he won't be in Canada. So it's probably going to be Sikoa, Loa, and Tonga. Even then, I still think the bloodline win. They said tonight, or no, I'm assuming tonight on SmackDown they're going to say who's going to be in it. I feel like you can't just leave people wondering, right? Especially if Jacob Fatu's not going to be in it. I feel like you have to declare that because he's kind of being shown as this, like, enforcer star right now, So I feel like they have to say if Fatu's going to be in it or not. Well, especially if he's not. They have to say if he's not. I think that's the main thing. Or maybe Cody, Kevin, and Randy take one of them out tonight on SmackDown. It's kind of like a little get-back type situation. That'd be cool. But yeah, overall, I think that the Bloodline win. Again, I just don't know how. And then maybe throughout this match, you set up Cody's SummerSlam opponent. There's been those rumors that could be Randy Orton. I think that'd be sick. Maybe Randy Orton turn on Cody and Kevin, and that leads to Cody versus Orton at SummerSlam. And that's how the Bloodline win. I think that'd be perfect. Or you get Sikoa versus Cody, because Cody pins Solo in this match. Or sorry, Solo pins Cody in this match. That'd be perfect too. Or even then, there have been rumors that Roman Reigns comes back. I don't see that happening yet. I feel like SummerSlam's too soon. Or he could return at SummerSlam, but I feel like you don't have him wrestle at SummerSlam. But then again, that's a big guy for a big crowd. I don't know. But overall, I think the Bloodline do win. Next up, we do have the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match featuring Io Sky, Chelsea Green, Lyra Valkyria, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and Zoe Stark. This one is actually kind of a big question mark in my head. I think both Money in the Banks are kind of question marks, but the women's one a little less so. I feel like Tiffany Stratton's the right person to pick here. I think Io Sky on Raw doesn't really make much sense just because she did win it last year. I feel like putting her in this again low-key discredits her, but that's just me. Just giving her the opportunity to win this 2 years in a row feels kind of, desperate almost. But then again, I guess that's what it's for, to build a new star, but you're not building a new star. Anyway, Io's not winning. There's no way. And then just because of that, I don't think Lyra wins either because they're kind of tied into a feud right now. Like last year's women's Money in the Bank Lyra match made a lot of sense because literally everyone in that match was feuding almost, I think. Because you had Zoe, Trish, Becky, who were all feuding. You had Io, Bailey. I don't remember, but I remember everyone feuding because that's how the match started with all the feuds going on. Except I feel like someone was an odd man out, but it doesn't matter. This one just doesn't really feel like that to the same extent because Io and Lyra are feuding, so that will get taken care of probably. So I don't think either of them are winning. And then who else is in it? Chelsea Green. I think Chelsea would be cool to win. Just because I feel like they've been treating her more as a star recently, somewhat, but at the same time, I don't think she's winning either. Like, she cannot have a world title yet, sadly. You have to establish her credibility more, I think, to even win an accolade like Money in the Bank. Who else is in this match? 1, 2, 3. Naomi. Sadly, I just don't see Naomi winning. It'd be cool, though. It'd be cool. Don't get me wrong. It'd be cool. Get her back in that women's title scene. I think that'd be sick. Like, if Naomi wins this, I'd have no problem with that. It's just right now, she just feels so insignificant on SmackDown. Like, I did a quiz that I didn't upload, trying to name every WWE roster member. I forgot Naomi. Because she just feels so insignificant. I should have gotten her. Don't get me wrong. But she just feels so insignificant right now. Like, I could not tell you the last match she wrestled. I think it was a tag match with Bailey against Piper and Chelsea. But is it? I don't know. And then you have Zoe Stark. I think Zoe Stark's a great person to have win. Do I think she'll win? No. But I think she's a great person to have win. Like, that would be such a cool victory. Just because Zoe Stark, I think, is such a good wrestler. I don't think she's given like, a fair opportunity. Her tag team with Shayna Baszler, I think, is cool. You saw on Raw, Zoe Stark wants to talk to Sonya Deville. Shayna Baszler doesn't want her to. So I doubt that would play into this, but it could. Overall, though, I sadly don't think Stark is winning. And well, if you don't know, that leaves one person, Tiffany Stratton. I think Stratton wins. Again, about Lyra Valkyria too, I think she'd be a great winner as well. Like, don't get me wrong, like Lyra, Tiff, Zoe, honestly anyone in this match is a fine winner. Just because all these stars are like, they're not new per se, but they're not old. At least when in terms of Tiffany, Lyra, they're pretty new. Chelsea isn't super new, but she's not old. You could still make a new star out of her. Io, she already won it. She is a star. Io's a star. And then Naomi, she's basically a star too. But I look at Money in the Bank as trying to build a new star. You could do that with Tiff, Lyra, Zoe easily. I just don't think Zoe's winning, as I said. Lyra, I don't really have a good reason for her not winning, to be honest. She's just involved with this other feud with Damage Control. So even, like, let's say Damage Control comes out, tries to help. Bang, Lyra's out the picture. Again, it just doesn't seem like Lyra would win. Meanwhile, Tiffany Stratton, she's currently trying to be friends with Nia Jax, who will probably take the title from Bayley. And she's new, she's young, she's amazing at wrestling, she's over. Like, Tiffany is the right winner. Let's just move on. Finally, we have the men's Money in the Bank ladder match featuring Jey Uso, Carmelo Hayes, Andrade, Chad Gable, LA Knight, and Drew McIntyre. This one, I literally have no clue. I'm not going to lie. First, LA Knight. I don't think he's going to win. I feel like his trajectory right now is saying winning the U.S. title from Logan Paul. I think that's what LA Knight is going to do. Which is kind of sad, because I feel like he easily could have been world champion last year if they gave him Money in the Bank. But then again, I think this giving Priest it has really worked out. So, anyway, bye-bye LA Knight. I think he's gone. That leaves 5. Andrade. I just don't think he's been featured in enough storylines or really anything to win Money in the Bank. He's the speed champion? Cool. Sorry, Andrade, but I don't think this is your time either. Bang. We're down to 4. I low-key think Gable is a great option for winning. The only thing is, the Wyatt 6 would definitely prevent him from winning. So, sadly, my heart's kind of getting torn here. I think Gable's not involved either. We're down to 3. Now, this is when my heart and brain are kind of having a battle, you know what I'm saying? Because personally, I won't lie. I don't want Drew McIntyre to win. And I'd rather not see Jey Uso win. Just because I think Drew, he's too big for Money in the Bank, in my opinion. I feel like if with Money in the Bank, you gotta have a new star develop. So I think Drew is too big for this, and I think Punk could get involved, and there's that storyline continuing. But then again, how long's Punk been out for? I'm not sure. But that's Drew taken care of, you know? He gets involved with Punk. So this is all relevant. But it would make sense for him to win as well because he wants that world title. He hates Money in the Bank. Has been cashing on him so many times. Like, I don't know. But I'm going to go with no Drew. So now we're down to 2. And man, I just don't want Jey Uso to win. Like, Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso, whatever. Great guy. Like, cool wrestler. He's over, whatever. Do I hate Eat? Yes, but I can look past that. I just feel like Jey Uso has been shoved down my throat. And that's what I don't like. I don't like how Jey Uso has been just shoved down my throat every week. Like, he's not really that apparent every week, but it just seems like he's winning Money in the Bank. Like, man, he's on the poster. He was the first person to qualify, I think, or the first Raw star for sure. He was the only person in that triple threat who got a promo before saying, "Oh, I'm gonna win." Like, Jey Uso is like the favorite. He should be. Like, it looks like he's gonna win. The one problem with Jey Uso is I can't see him winning the world title. I can't see him cashing in on anybody winning that thing. Who would he cash in on? Cashing in on Cody would be sick. I'm not gonna lie. That'd be a cool little full circle moment. But then when it comes to Raw, I don't think he's cashing in on Gunther. I don't think he's cashing in on Priest. Maybe he does cash in on Priest, and then Gunther takes it from Jey. I think that could be fine. But I just don't see Jey winning. But then again, you have Carmelo Hayes. I think Carmelo Hayes is literally the perfect person you can put this on. Carmelo was a star in NXT. Was he perfect? No. People have talked about how he wasn't perfect. He would put on good matches. Some could argue great matches. Some would say they weren't great. Some would say just good. But they were they were over for sure. The crowd loved it. and he has been he's been low-key protected on the main roster so far. Let's be real. I feel like he's only lost to roll-up pins. So I don't know. I think Carmelo Hayes is a perfect guy you can put this on. Like, and it would immediately put him to a star level on the main roster. But the thing is, I can't see him winning the world title either. The only person I can see winning the world title is Drew McIntyre. But I don't think Drew McIntyre can win this. Like, that's why I'm so torn. If I would give it to Carmelo Hayes, personally. And so I really want to pick him. Because I think WWE could easily do a swerve. I think Triple H could easily do a swerve. Especially for a guy like Carmelo Hayes. Because Triple H was running NXT when he was champion, I think. Or at least when he planned to make him champion. Like, it would make so much sense to give Carmelo Hayes that Money in the Bank briefcase. But I just don't know who he would beat. That's the problem. Like, I just don't know, man. I don't know about anything. I want to see Carmelo Hayes win so bad, bro. But my gut is just saying Jey Uso. But God, I hope it's not Jey Uso. Damn, this is bad. I need to make a prediction. I really do. And I so want to say Carmelo Hayes. Because I think Carmelo Hayes is perfect. I think he's your perfect Money in the Bank winner. He just doesn't feel like a world champion. And that's the problem. I don't know what to do. You know what? We're going to go with my heart. We're going to go with my heart. We're going to think WWE's pulling a swerve. And I'm going to go with Carmelo Hayes. Yup, that's what we're going to do. Carmelo Hayes, lock it in. And we'll see what happens at Money in the Bank. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, if you did enjoy this video, please like, subscribe, share, do all that. Tell me what you think of my predictions. And tell me your predictions too. Money in the Bank's in a day. Hopefully this goes out before SmackDown. But yeah, peace.